inside the press box. My baby girl. Making history. Lead that. Yeah. 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 35 seconds in. And it's on and popping. Good. Get into this conversation, a very important conversation, bridging 2 generations. That's what we're doing. Possibly 3, because granting them, that generation can learn something. I feel like I'm not high enough.
You are.
Yeah.
That did not make no difference.
Feel like I wasn't high enough. That should just teach lower. So what we can do? Bottom to the beat. You know what I'm saying? We in there like swimwear.
The one and only Nubian A. She's here, finally, in the press box.
Inside the press box.
With my father's second son. That's with a K. Period.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Peace. Really? And we live. Welcome to the Walk With Me podcast. We inside the press box. You see what's going on? It's your good brother, a second son, a second with a K. S-U-N, because I am Carolyn's second son. This is a special edition, family. The father-daughter edition. You see, we got my baby girl inside the press box on this Walk With Me podcast edition. Father-daughter.
The one and only Nubian A. Okay, she finally made it. I'm here. I'm excited.
That's good.
And we about to get into this good conversation because it's very needed. I'm excited. I knew if I didn't press the issue, the video, it wouldn't have gotten done. So, told my daddy today is the day. It's a very special day. 2/22/22. So this is a very big, this is a day for manifesting. So I wanted to record with my daddy because this is very legendary, 2 legends in the making. I'm excited.
Right on. And this podcast edition is sponsored by Legends Den. LegendsDenTexas.com. Legends Den, the brick and mortar, in what we call the Baby H. Henderson, Texas, the Lone Star State.
I'm wearing one of their tops. Sorry,
that is correct.
Yes, I'm wearing one of their tops. I love this top. The fabric is very soft. Okay.
Talk about it.
You gotta go, and it's actually a 2-piece. I have like biker shorts, the same color. They came together, so definitely go and shop with them. When you sign up for like their, I think it's like their mailing list or something like that, you get 20% off on your first order online. So definitely go shop with them. They have many, many pieces for women and men. So go get into all of that. Yes.
That's right. Legends Den is a curated boutique for the culture and the streets. Again, the brick and mortar building is located in the Baby H. That's Henderson, Texas, right off of Highway 79. Suite 910, Unit A. Got that? And we right next door in the press box in Unit B. And we're about to get into this conversation because, again, it's very needed. This session is also dedicated to her paternal and maternal grandmothers, Margaret Ann and Carolyn Louise. Now let's get on into this conversation because Nubian A, weeks ago, you and I were in conversation and I posed the question. And the question was, what percentile of your peers, of your peer group, do you think, where at that time, of course, is in the past tense, so I was saying, do you think at that time, but now we can repeat your answer and go over it. As it relates to your peer group, what percentile would you say that is dealing with depression or has dealt with depression?
My answer is 97%.
And when she said 97%, family, I wasn't surprised, once again, because, you know, I get it. I'm in the know. And I'm very big on studying the human body and how it works via human growth and development, biochemistry, you see what I'm saying, etc. And I know that we have been dealing with, you see, traumas, passed down traumas through generations. Now, for the record, real quick before we get all the way into it, I personally dealt with severe depression, family. And this is what I know. I was not diagnosed professionally or none of that because I was able to diagnose myself, you see, by paying attention to my body and my surroundings, etc., and how I respond to my surroundings, etc. And I found myself in a sunken place. And this baby right here, at a very young age, asked her grandmother, peace be upon her, Granny, well, of course, I'm paraphrasing because I wasn't there, but my mom-in-law ended up telling me that the baby asked her, what was the question? What is, it wasn't.
And that's what I was just about to say. Like, I can't even fully remember the conversation myself. But I do remember asking Granny, I asked her, like, it's something that men go through. Something that I don't even know how I knew about that at that age. Like, but I know it's something that men, they tend to go through when they get a little older. Right. But oh my God, I really want to know. I'm trying to figure out the exact, because it was a terminology for it. Like, I said the exact terminology for it at that young age.
Midlife crisis. That was the terminology you used.
Okay.
Midlife crisis. You asked your that was the terminology.
So is that for men in particular, or?
Well, no. Midlife crisis would be just like you said. But of course, you're saying older men, but older people. Period. You can go through a midlife crisis as it relates to, like, you a certain age. You're looking at what you have accumulated as it relates to, you know what I'm saying, tangible things or whatever, or something that of value that you have accumulated, and we can find ourselves at a certain age feeling like we're behind, we hadn't accomplished those goals that we felt like we really wanted to accomplish, you know, coming out of school, etc.
And that's when depression hits.
Right. It was
subconsciously. A lot of people, and I wanted to say, I really would say 100%. Remember I said that too? At first I said 97%, and then I was like, well, honestly, I would say 100% because I just see it and I know it, especially through social media.
How old are you, for the record?
I'm 21. Okay. Yes.
And you graduated from what high school?
Homeschool.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yes, I graduated from homeschool. So
you telling me that you had no experience in a public high school. I saw that. A public high school setting. You didn't experience that.
No.
Oh, okay.
My last year of public school was 8th grade.
Okay.
Started pre-K.
Oh.
So I went pre-K through the 8th grade public school, 9th through 12th, I was homeschooled.
Homeschool why? Who decision was that?
It was my father's decision.
Oh, really? Huh.
That I was very upset about. Like, let's be
Talk
real.
about it.
Yeah, let's be real. I
Talk
was
about it.
not happy
Okay.
at all.
At all.
To be homeschooled. I'm a very social person, okay? I love to socialize. I like to be around people, you know. I like to be in the mix. Well, I used to, honestly. Now, I've grown. I've been through situations with people, and I'm very much so to myself now. I'm in my prime. I'm 21. I just said I'm 21. So I'm in my prime. I'm finding out who I am, what I like, what I don't like. Honestly, I just, people right now is not, I'm not, that's just not my focus. My focus is myself and my bag, period, and my family. So,
okay. That's a drastic change, because when we mentioned public school, you immediately went to talking about, I'm a social person and the social side. I never heard you say, I'm really into English and math and science, and I really wanted to go to school to really be able to be on the A honor roll all the time. I didn't hear you say that. You went straight to the social part.
Yeah.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
So stay right there for a minute.
Okay.
As it relates to school and public school and being able to go and mix and mingle, now that you're able to see at 21, you can look back and see, because you just said you went to public school from pre-K to the 8th grade, correct?
Yes.
So you can look back, even as it relates to your peers, and you learn what, as it relates to like what you didn't miss out on or what you did miss out on, as it relates to you being able to go to a public school in high school, because we know that's the important years of school, right?
So you're saying since I didn't go to public school, what did I miss
What
or
can
didn't
you look
miss?
back? Yeah, what can you look back on now as a 21-year-old and say, well, man, and measure it with the people that you know that did, etc.
Yeah, I know for 100%, I missed nothing. 100%, I missed nothing. A lot of people, a lot of my classmates, or not even just my classmates, people, period, I hear them all the time say, high school did not prepare me for the real life. I graduated, I was lost, I was confused, and I had to find out everything on my own. So for me, I'm very grateful. Like, like you said, it was a drastic change, because that's life. You live, you learn, you grow. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So, yes, it was a drastic change because, I realized I was in a very I don't know the word I'm looking for, but the position that I was in to be homeschooled, it set me apart, most definitely, because
in what way, when you say set you apart?
Mentally.
Okay.
Yeah, straight off the top.
I don't want to cap.
Yeah, straight off the top. Mentally, being homeschooled, it put me in a different lane. Mentally.
Yeah.
Yes, mentally it did, because I got to find out who I am and my purpose and what truly moves my spirit. People, when you at high school, you're socializing. Like, you're socializing, and then according to the stories that I hear, okay, you're socializing, and then it sounds like to me, everybody their junior year, you stressed out. Why? Because them first 2 years, freshman, sophomore year, you was socializing. You in high school, you feel like you doing it big, living it big, and you're not taking school serious anyway. So your junior year comes, now you're stressed because you got to get the credit for whatever, And you weren't taking the time out to be serious the first 2 years. So yeah, now your junior year is very stressful. And then by the time you get to senior year, it's to me it sounds like it's not even fun anymore, because you're ready to go at this point. The only thing, the little senior trips and things like that, that's all that I hear that people have to that's what they talk about. Like, they don't talk about anything else. Like I said, the stories that I hear, people say all the time, high school did not prepare me for the real life. Like,
okay,
I got tossed out to the wolves,
Okay, stay right there as well, because when we're talking about the real world, we already know that the real world calls for the ability to critical think. And the ability to critical think, it calls for you to be able to have a sound mind. So if I do not have a sound mind, and I haven't developed a sound mind,
meaning a peace of mind,
by the time I'm 18, where am I gonna find inspiration or motivation to be me? Like you're saying, you found through homeschool, like you're saying, you was able to find out who you were and then now act out, who you really are. So for that baby that does not get that opportunity, where and how, in your estimation, do you think they can find the road to self-discovery? Because of course self-discovery is going to be what allows one to fight the depression. Because remember, family, depression is the topic here, and how we deal with it coming out of our teenage years, coming out of school, you see. So again, as it relates to
where are they going to find inspiration?
where are they going to find?
First off, where there's a will, there's a way.
Okay.
Period. And nowadays,
talk about it.
We have social media. So if you can't grasp any motivation from home, you definitely, like I said, where there's a will, there's a way. And I do know for sure when you get it like fixed in your mind, like I want different. I want and you start thinking these things or speaking these things, God is going to put you in alignment with what you want. So that's why I said where there's a will, there's a way. So if you don't have inspiration at home, you definitely can go on social media and see. You can use social media in a positive, in a productive. Yeah, well, I'm going to say productive. You can use social media in a productive way. Most of the time, social media is being used. I'm not gonna say most of the time. I feel like honestly, it is a balance, but most of the time on social media, you just you're posting to impress others. Living, planning a fantasy for other people to think you're living a life that you're not. But my point that I'm getting to is like, instead of doing all of that, trying to impress people that's like really not worried about you to a certain extent, you can just use social media to like find some type of motivation, inspiration, some a motivational speaker, a teacher, things like that. If you can't find it at home, because let's be honest, I know most of my peers cannot go home and find any inspiration to become anything other than a 9-to-5, or just living that regular lifestyle, especially my skin folk. I know that there's going home to find motivation is, unfortunately, it's not there. It's not there. And like I told you, even like our people, we joke a lot. And I remember I told you, like, our generation, we got a meme that's you can come across it on social media, and it's like, it'll say like, the memes would be like me, and then it'll say like my parent or my man, stuff like that. Yes. So it's one about us, and it says me. You know, I'm depressed, talking to my parent, talking to the parent. And then the parent response is, well, you better go depress them dishes. You know, like that's the response that we've been getting, you know, because of it definitely goes all the way back to that slave, you know, post-traumatic slave syndrome. People, I don't know if they realize how deep they are into this post-traumatic slave syndrome. Like,
how deeply it's embedded into the DNA code now. And being passed through the genome, being passed through the womb. Because we got to remember, family, that that baby is experiencing whatever mama is experiencing. You see? Inside and out of the womb. Of course, physically, what she is drinking and eating, etc., the baby obviously has to be, you know, a part of that nourishment or not. And then, of course, whatever is going on the outside for that baby. Why are we bringing that up? Because again, the baby, like she's saying, post-traumatic slave syndrome is something that is real and something that was corporately put together for these results that we're seeing, that the baby is telling us about right now, speaking about and highlighting. And of course, if we don't have this conversation as a family, we will never be able to highlight how the baby feel. And it's important, like the baby just said, if I'm coming to my providers and protectors, you see, naturally, that's natural law. As a parent, mother and father, you're there to provide security, protection, spiritually, mentally, financially, you see, the whole role. You see? And when the baby is coming to you and the deflection, you see, that's deflection when you're talking about dishes. Because the baby didn't say nothing about dishes at that point. We can get to the dishes, that ain't no problem. But let's deal with this topic of depression first. Because, again, we haven't realized that it's being passed down through the womb. And the only way it can get corrected is first with conversation and admitting that there's a problem. And then we go from there. And of course, see, like that meme tells us that that's post-traumatic slave syndrome at its finest, because generation after generation have been has been hearing these deflection answers when it comes to mama, I need you, or daddy, I need you, in whatever way that the baby is trying to express that. Because the baby don't always ask verbally. The baby can act in action, like in their behavior. And as a parent, again, a provider, a protector, you got to be able to see the signs. How can I be able to see the signs if I'm sick and I'm in behind other folk business and all that, and then my own household is in an uproar? You see how that works? And all we saying is it's important to have these conversations with the babies. You see, we're going to bust up all of that not being able to communicate to the next generation. We busting all that up. You see, that's what we're here for. Walk with me. You see? And again, she's boop to me. Okay, so I might say boop every now and then. Nubian A, that baby that said that to their parent and then got that response, you better go in there and depress them dishes. How do you think, because of course it's up to, it's your opinion on the matter or your philosophy. How do you think that baby feels to hear that at that moment?
Right, because I was just about to say,
that's an emotional,
all respect is out the door.
Oh, man.
Yeah, all respect is out the door immediately. All respect is out the door, and now I'm about to subconsciously, okay, I'm about to, we gonna talk, because, okay, see, like if that's a young woman, this is just an example. If that's a young woman talking to her mother, okay, she is bound to possibly grow up and want a woman. Why? Because when she came to her mother and tried to emotionally get some support about being depressed, her mother's response was, go depress them dishes. So now, subconsciously, that young woman, she is dealing with that she needs that motherly support, that love, that energy. So that's why I'm saying, like, she's bound to grow up and be gay. And I'm just, that's just an example, and I'm saying, like, that's how deep these things are. I'm not
expound on it a little bit.
Yeah, because
expound on that a little bit.
I'm,
because you that's heavy right there.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
And I say this, because we keeping it real,
Absolutely.
When you're born, if you're born a girl, if you're born a young man, natural law, you are supposed to grow up and get the opposite sex. Nobody is born wanting the same sex, that's
fair.
It's not possible, God definitely, we know this world was created a certain way. For me to be here, for my father to be here, for you to be here watching this video right now, there had to be a man and a woman involved, period, point blank. That's just what it is, But my point is, what I'm saying, that young woman, she subconsciously now is missing that, like I said, she's subconsciously missing a mother, So subconsciously, meaning in the back of her head, she may be aware of it or she may not be, but subconsciously in the back of her head now, she's growing up and she's looking for that feminine energy, that love and support that she was supposed to get from her mother. It's just mental. It's all mental, and that is very much so possible. So it's like, and it starts like, it's so deep. Like, if only you, I'm not gonna say that you whoever is watching this, you might know how the mind works, but to know how the mind works, it's like you have the key to life, because your mind is where everything starts. The head is literally that's the first thing that's developed in the womb. So, to know how that part of you works, you locked in. And what I'm saying is, the respect is out the door, She don't respect her mother. The love is out the door. So yeah, now she's subconsciously wanting and needing that feminine love, support, and energy. That's just what it is. And we can do that vice versa with a young man as well.
And let's stay right there.
I know some young men. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know people personally who I know the relationship. Like, I know a daughter and the relationship she had with her mother, and she, she's gay. And I know a few young men, the relationship the relationship they have with their father, and they are gay as well. So that's why I'm saying, like, not only have I been able to read into the mind, I have experience as well. So that does it. Experience and reading, them two, it gets you there.
And let's stay right there for a minute, because we want to be sensitive about that topic, and because we all have loved ones or somebody that we love or care about, that is a part of the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
And my position on it is the same as my baby's. And to add to that, I sympathize. I always say this, that I sympathize with those that it was not a choice. Because you have them, you have those members of that community that will tell you that, nah, baby, I chose this. Because I've heard a number of them,
me too,
male and female, say that, nah, I chose this lifestyle, etc. But we do know there's a larger number that was forced into that lifestyle, because the first time that they was introduced to sex was by the same gender. So of course, going back to what my baby is saying, how the mind works. See, this is the superpower in us, in a humanoid, is your brain and the ability that the brain has. Now, when the brain is manipulated and taken over, you see, in early stages of that baby life, when that brain is still developing, because remember the brain in the human, as it relates to human growth and development, the brain does not develop fully until the baby is 25 years of age. So that 7-year-old, that 6-year-old, 8-year-old, you see, a preteen, etc., that was violated, I sympathize with them.
Confusion.
You see, because I know exactly that they was confused. So I just wanted to add that part in there.
Right.
To the whole, same gender loving principle concept. You understand?
Yeah, and it's no bashing, no hate. You live your life, you do what you do.
Absolutely.
It's your life. Yeah, that what you do does not affect me. So
right.
Yeah, I had to say that too.
Exactly. And we're just expounding on how the mind, you see, can be taken over by confusion easily, because that's confusing for a child to come to a parent, which in that child's mind is thinking, my parent is here to provide guidance. You see what I'm saying? Answers, etc. And if the parent doesn't have the answer, the ability to point them to some type of resource to where they do have the answer. But when the baby come to the parent for an answer, and that's what they get, you see, that's easy for the child, like my baby is saying, to lose respect. And then when you lose respect for your caretaker, your provider, where do you go? You see what I'm saying? And that's, family, where the depression kicks in right there. That's where it starts. And we have to know the signs of depression. What are some signs of depression, you think? One, for sure, for me, is you can't get enough of food, eating. You just, food is on your mind. That's a telltale sign that you're depressed.
Sleep.
You
sleep all the time.
You want to sleep all the time.
Sleeping all the time, eating all the time, binge watching Netflix, HBO shows 24/7. That is signs of depression. Smoking and drinking every day. That is signs of depression. You can't do certain things until you smoke, or you can't do certain things until you get that shot in you. That's signs of depression. Scrolling on social media all day, every day, 7 days of the week, 24/7. That is signs of depression.
Have you dealt with depression in any type of way?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Definitely.
And can you expound on it a little bit for the family as it relates to, like, now you're able to look back. What do you feel like was the cause? What was the main theme of your depression? What was causing you to be depressed?
I was in a toxic relationship. That's number one. And
you say toxic relationship, expound on that. What made it toxic? You don't have to tell all your business, of course.
What made it toxic was there was like the love and the energy wasn't reciprocated. It was, I don't care. Yeah, it was lying and cheating, manipulating going on. Like when you love somebody, those type of things are not going on. The communication was very like rough. I don't know why that's the only word that's coming to my mind. It was, the communication was very off. He personally came from an abusive background, an abusive background. His household is very,
That's important.
Yeah, he came from an abusive background, very
that's important.
No structure, and I'm the complete opposite,
Okay.
I didn't come from an abusive family. Like the household, my household is not abusive. It's not a bunch of chaos going on. Very structured for the most part. I mean, everybody is human now. Nobody, let's not act like anybody is perfect. Everybody, so it's structured for the most part. Still, like, I was I don't even know, it was very much needed though. I give thanks for that because it opened me up all the way. That's why I am to myself now. Because it wasn't even just that relationship. I had friendships, as well, toxic friendships as well. I learned one thing for sure, that it's a difference between somebody loving you, loving what you can do for them, and then loving to be around you. Okay, those are they all might feel like love, but when somebody loves you just because of what you can do for them, that's not love. And when somebody just loves being around you because you are not because you're not down like them, they might be depressed, like they might be depressed and going through things, and they can see your light, they see your energy, and they want to be attached. That's not love either. And then you have when someone actually loves you, you're going to be able to feel the difference. So I was in a toxic relationship along with toxic friendships as well. I was just, those type of friendships, like, if we not smoking, like, there's really nothing for us to do. Like, if we don't smoke, like, the energy is off, and that's not good either. Like, we shouldn't have to smoke weed to vibe, to laugh, to have a good time, so it was just a lot of toxic things going on. Little Nubian A, she was going through her lessons. I take everything as a lesson. I'm shifting my mindset. I'm growing up. I'm 21. Everything happens for a reason, number one, and you should be able to find a lesson within every situation that hurts you. What doesn't kill you definitely makes you stronger. So that's something to, keep that in mind. And you're gonna have to go through situations in life where you feel down, because I felt down. Like, I felt very down. I knew I wasn't being myself, and that's crazy to me, because in my head the whole time I was in that relationship, after a while I was like, okay, baby girl, it's time for you this what you gonna settle for. Like, you gonna do this for real, because I'm a daddy's girl. I love my daddy. Like, all I know how to do is love a man, like, I don't know how to, because I grew up around women who don't respect men, who really don't, they don't respect men. They don't respect men. They don't really like men. They get men that they can dog. They get men that they can, run over and things like that. I don't, my dad, he's very much an alpha, okay? So I'm used to that real, provide, protect, love, and care for my father. So, I call myself trying to show that young man that I was in a relationship with, because he was just like, don't nobody really know who I was with anyway, so I'm finna just go ahead and, he had mother issues and things like that. Really parental issues, period. Okay, let's be real. Parental issues, because the relationship that his parents had was not a productive relationship, like many other people in our community, okay? A lot of people just be together for the children, thinking that's really doing something, when you're not doing anything but causing more damage. Or you have situations like the father is just there because he don't want to be on that child support cases, and see, these type of things are toxic, and this is what my generation had to grow up looking at. So I know the results of these relationships, because I've been in contact with people who they had to grow up in that type of environment, and that's toxic, so
producing trauma.
and having their
Is
children.
that an oxymoron?
What?
To
Producing
produce
trauma? To me, no.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's definitely cooked up. Like,
And I heard you say the lack of love, so, it's probably going to be pretty much impossible for somebody to give love that hadn't received it.
right. Because
Or communicate. Know how to
most
communicate.
definitely, and that's what I was dealing with. And it's very stressful. That's stressful.
When you say stressful, why? What you mean?
Because
of what? It's unfamiliar to you? Is that what's making it be stressful? I'm saying, like, you don't have that problem, but you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause I'm trying to. Now it's like, and this is real though, cause every relationship, you're going friendship. It doesn't matter. Like, y'all are going to be. You're gonna have some type of trauma that you're still healing from. So nobody's gonna be perfect. I know this, but it don't take long to see that somebody is there and actually care for you, and just at least try to like work on yourself at least. But
that's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask when you get into that part of how this baby that you're speaking about, of course, because it's like you're saying, it's universal in our community. So it's not just this one, like your ex-relationship, etc. or whatever. We dealing with it like on a mass level.
Right, exactly.
So with that being said, how does that baby get to the point, or is it even possible? But how does that baby get to the point to where they're able to start healing from all of those traumas that they experienced at home with their parents? Because like we said, this is a generational thing.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, where there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
And
you did say that.
This young man that I'm particularly talking about.
So that's the formula?
What?
Where there's a will, there's a way. That's what we're saying? That's the formula to getting healed, like getting out of that?
Mm-hmm. And
you have to have the will.
Yeah, yes.
Nobody can do it for you.
Yes, and that's the problem, because to have will, baby, you got to have confidence.
Okay, talk about it.
Our people, for the most part, don't have confidence because of...
That's what I was saying. Okay. That's what I was going to ask. Why?
This right here, okay? Y'all just don't know.
Vicariously living through the superstars?
Yes, the celebrities and all of that. And it's actually a study going around that those type of people are basically like, you're slow. Like, I mean, it's you can find that meme somewhere around on social media. It's a study going around that people who are like obsessed with celebrities, like, baby, like you know the business before it even hit the shade room. Like those type of people, or even, let's be real, like the people who look like you love the shade room. You be all up in the shade room. You just got to see what's going on with so-and-so. People like that, the research shows, baby, it says you a little, just on the slow end. And I get that, because you should not be obsessed with any other human being more than you are obsessed with yourself. So, that's slow. Like,
is that fair to call them slow?
I mean, I'm not, but I don't, because I can't remember what the post said, but it was like, people who are obsessed with celebrities' lives, they are like,
obviously lacking confidence and knowing, in themselves, obviously.
It said that y'all was like, it said something about y'all. Yeah, I'm not gonna call y'all slow, but that's because that's not what the post said. But it said something about y'all mental is not, you not like tweaking at a high level. I'll say that.
And where does that come from? I mean, of course, we're saying that everything starts at home as a relates to self-esteem, etc.
Because it comes.
How do they get to that point to be so obsessed and be in that category?
Love and hip hop, Real Housewives of Atlanta,
how they
Jersey
get
Shore.
How do they get? That's what I'm saying. How do they get to wanting to live and be in them folk business like that? How do they get to that?
I was adding to the fact, like, it starts at home, because we used to sit down and watch shows like that. We would watch Love and Hip Hop together. All of them. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Flavor Flav, them, New York, them, you know.
Girls Club, etc.
But we would watch that together as a family. But we have drastically grown from that. Like, we don't even have a TV in the living room.
Right.
Like, now, we don't have a TV in the living room.
But that's how do we get there? How did we get there?
How did we get there? Trial and tribulation.
Trial and tribulation? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying, how do we get to the level of not having a TV in the living room? How did we get there? And not being bothered.
That's a lot of unplugging that you have to do.
So it sounds like that's going back to the willpower.
Yeah.
Of someone.
Yes, because our whole movement started with my father. My father is a very
really?
He's a very confident, very smart, intelligent, you know, very much so DIY, you know, do it yourself. Wait, is it? Yeah, do it yourself. Yeah, do it yourself.
DIY.
But and my point is, the will started with my father. Like, it started with him because he's very confident. He can stand on his square alone. It was a battle when my daddy first, like, when we started the whole
awakening process.
Yes.
Self-discovery.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
When we started that process, it was a battle. It was literally, the house was like split up. It was like my daddy and my sister, Ayana Bay. I got golden gems, baby. I got these earrings on. My sister, she makes jewelry that is golden gems. You can find her on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, okay, and Etsy. That's Golden Gems, okay? GLO, Glowden, DEN, Gems, GEMS, okay? She does earrings, waist beads, all of that. You can make custom orders for your waist beads, everything, okay? So go check her out. These are her earrings, okay?
And she made Daddy's necklace.
So she also does men and women, you know, jewelry wear. So yeah, it was when the self-discovery process started. It started with my daddy. He started all of it, and the house was split up. It was like him and my sister Yana, CEO of Golden Gems, versus like me and my mama. Because me and my mama, we
and your little bro,
we wasn't with it. But I never count Dalen because he was so young. Dalen was just like in the space. He didn't care about anything really. So that's why I say, it was split up like, my daddy and Yana versus me and my mother. So that process started actually 2014.
That's right.
So I'm gonna say from 2014 up until for 2 years, I'm gonna say it was a battle in the house. We weren't on the same page at all. We were not on the same page at all. So it was a battle in the house, I'm gonna say, for 2 years. And then,
and let me add this real quick, and that because that hearing her say that is what allows me to know, not believe, but know. When you know who you are and you act on who you are, your environment will bend towards you. You know, that way, you know, I'm not trying to make it be, you know, narcissistic or something like that, but that's how the law works, the law of attraction. As long as that energy that you are emitting, that frequency that you're emitting, long as you're not hurting anyone, you see, and it's righteous and it's for a right cause, everything else will line up. But you have to know who you are, and like my baby say, stand on your square all the way and never fold. And then these righteous results start to come in. Because again, that's how I even get inside of the press box where I am right now, is because of those disciplines that I chose to take that my baby is speaking about 8 years ago. You see, as it relates to diet, what I eat, what I watch, where I'm going, who I'm going to talk to when I go to talk to them, etc. All of that plays a vital role in your spirit, man. You see, being able to attract for you in your situation, for you and your family, for you and your legacy. You see what I'm saying? It allows you to attract that you was divinely birthed to attract. And you can't knock that when we talking about a whole family. Man, woman, and children coming together on righteousness. Not to manipulate nobody. We coming up and plotting and scheming and goddamn trying to get over on somebody. We're going to do none of that. You see what I'm saying? We're getting ourselves together so we can assist fallen humanity. Because the only way you're going to convince somebody is through your product, what you producing in your life. So yeah, I had to add that real quick. And I know for a fact that when you stick to your guns, is my point, on righteousness, everything else will line up. And we as a family are in the midst of everything lining up right now as we speak. And again, this is a classic session right here, because this is father and daughter. My baby 21 years old. She could be anywhere she want to be right now. She don't have to be in here talking to her daddy and talking to the family about knowledge of self and self-discovery and mental health, you see, and depression and how it's plaguing our community. And we've had enough as a family. We're saying the buck stops here, you see? And as it relates to legacy, we're building on to the legacy that our ancestors already started. The foundation been laid. We're just adding on to the legacy by doing right. You see? That's all I want to add. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a battle in the house for 2 years. I'm gonna say that, for 2 years. And then like
2 years.
Yeah, like and really 3, honestly. Cause like I'm gonna say 2017, I know for a fact myself, that's when I started to I'm gonna just read. I was still connected to, I'm not gonna say that. I was about to say that I was connected to the wrong people, but I was connected to the people that I was supposed to be connected to at that time.
Thank you.
So
Absolutely.
I just started reading more. Like 27, like when I turned 17 in 2017, I started reading more.
Feeding that brain.
Yes.
Brain food.
So for me, I started to come along even more.
You said 2017? Oh, you okay.
Yeah, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I'm going to say since then it's just been getting better and better in our household. Since like 2017, because we started to get on the same page more. Definitely, I'm gonna say 27. Really, that's really no, cause I don't turn 17 until the end. So really 2018, cause yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, because December 4th, that's my day, period. So
because Granny would transition in June of 2018.
oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, so that's 2018 is definitely when our family bond started to become stronger and better. Yeah.
And we've started to attract our tribe.
Yes.
Starting to be able to rid ourselves of unnecessary energy, unsupportive energy, envious energy.
Yes, heavy and
hate-filled
right
energy, you see. Because again, this is a spiritual war. This is a spiritual battle. We got to know that, fam. There's spiritual warfare going on at all times. And the warfare is dealing strictly right here, attacking the mind. Because again, when a baby comes to a parent for any assistance in any type of way, and there's deflection, and then when we get to talk about generations of deflection, go on in there. to press them dishes, man, that's abuse in itself.
It is.
That's abuse in itself right there.
That's horrible.
You see? And again, as a family, we can't afford that anymore. And when I say family, I'm talking about our community. You know what I mean? My skin folk. You see, the melanoids, the so-called black people of the goddamn Earth planet. We can't afford it because we're birthing depression. The baby depressed coming out the womb. Because remember, we got this generation medicated. We have a whole generation now. This baby here, her generation, her peer group is medicated. You got them saying that I got anger issues. They're admitting. You see, the word is God. Remember? We have to keep that in mind at all times. The word is God. No matter what your denominational affiliation or your religious affiliation, belief, etc., regardless of any of that. You see, the power of life and death is in the tongue for the Chinese, the Japanese, the Dutch, you see, the African American, you see, or whatever type of title you want to give the melanoids, because you know you got about 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, you see, the Mivato, etc., the German, the word is God. For any nationality of people walking the face of the earth, that's important. And your egoic title does not get to provide you some type of exemption. You see, because your egoic title be I'm a such and such tech. I'm a such and such assistant.
Okay, so you're saying your job
Come on.
You just because you have a job and a title, it doesn't separate you from
the word is God.
The law, right?
The law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long as you got a navel. See, remember that's the universal birthmark for humanity is your navel. Don't matter. It does not matter if it's an innie or an outie. You see? That law follows you.
Yeah.
The word is God. The power of life and death is in the tongue. So again, coming from the womb, the language need to be right. That's all we saying. And we can't afford to birth a whole nother generation talking about, I got anger management.
Yeah, we don't know our language.
I slapped my gal because my daddy slapped the shit out of my mama. I can't, that's what and I'm not, of course ain't nobody giving that as no reason. I know that, but we just, you see what I'm saying? Well, I hope nobody ain't giving out the reason why he abusing his woman. Well, I'm gonna abuse you because I saw my daddy abuse my mom.
Subconsciously, he probably is.
But subconsciously, he is.
Subconsciously, a lot of things go on that people literally aren't aware of.
And subconsciously, that woman that you talking about that don't like men, she's subconsciously not liking men because somebody taught her that.
Right.
Indirectly, of course. By not getting a man that they respect and showing that respective love reciprocated between the two of them. Because again, a lot of this is learned behavior. Yeah. That's what we got to know.
Exactly.
The baby can learn how to love. We got to know that because they were loved, not necessarily just taught. Hey, this is how you love. You see. But again, the word is God. And you got these babies in this generation, they're admitting, they're admitting to a lot of low vibrational stuff.
They are. I know.
Like, yeah, I'm this.
I even know a 19-year-old admitted she was depressed. She's 19.
You see? And of course, the first step to healing is admitting that there's a problem. So we're not saying that that's a problem for you to say that you are, but after saying that,
yes, what are those actions talking about?
That's all we're saying.
Because
don't sit in it.
Yeah, don't
and make it a cop out for all of your irresponsible responses to life. Reason why you can't. You see what I'm saying? The repo man keep coming getting the goddamn on goods. Cause you making it be, you see what I'm saying? Now you can't just keep making the depression be the reason why.
Right.
If you're gonna admit to it, let's go find help. That's all we're saying. And again, we already know that these babies, just like a lot of us though, you see, it was passed down. Again, this is traumatic slave syndrome going on here. A political science project was cooked up back in 1776. You see? But pre-1776, you had a lot of physical bodies go through trauma as it relates to slavery. And then this is how we get here, because don't nobody know how to fix nothing. You don't know how to heal you because you don't know how to communicate, etc. So all we doing is, you know what I'm saying, humping and bumping around and making babies, but we producing depressed babies because we depressed.
Yep.
And again, we know that, yeah, a lot of that was passed down, but it's time for somebody to say it's 2022. And today's date is 2/22/2022. So we already know this is a perfect conversation for this portal that we are in right now. A very important conversation, you see? Because enough is enough. You know, it's time to stop with the cop-out stuff. Let's sit down at the round table, you see, like this right here, and let's talk about it, because talking about it will lead to the resources that we need to heal it. Because that's how God works.
Our people, y'all know, you love to get together and talk about other people anyway. Let's talk about yourself. You know, let's try talking about yourself. And that's why, like, I give thanks to that relationship that I was in, because I grew so much. Like, I'm so proud of myself. Like, I grew so much. I'm to the point to where I talk to myself raw. You know, like, I was depressed because I allowed that energy to come into my life, to be connected to me. You know, I was feeling down, out, bad, and sad because I was allowing it. You know, you have to have these conversations with yourself. You have to be real with yourself. You got to be real with yourself, because even people who have parental issues, period, you know, it's a lot of different scenarios that I've seen myself, the approach that they take with those parental issues. And what I mean by that is, like, okay, so somebody with parental issues might, you know, they might, like, and this is unhealthy though, one of the tactics that they might do is try to cover up their parents, you know. And healing.
Cover up what you mean? What that mean?
Cover up the fact that
make an excuse?
Yes. Like my mom, you know, like, you know, your mama denied she wasn't it, but you find it in yourself, always trying to, like, cover it up or try to protect her. But you can't do that for you and your life and your healing, okay? Because you'll never get to heal like that. And I know a lot of people like that who just try to cover up their parental issues, and that's not good, because that now you're stuck. You're gonna be stuck in that little boy, little girl mindset who really just wants love and support from their parents. So now when it comes to your relationships, friendships, it doesn't matter, business ships, whatever, you're allowing any and every energy into your life, you know, probably something that you shouldn't be connected to, just because of the simple fact that you haven't dealt with those parental issues. So you're going to accept just any and everything. You're going to let people talk to you any type of way. You're not going to speak up for yourself. You're going to let people run you over. You're not going to truly express how you feel, because you're going to always be trying to cover up other people's feelings, because, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And you got to think about you. You have to think about yourself, okay? But back to, like I was saying, our people, y'all love to get together, get on the phone. You can get on the phone and you can talk about what happened on Power, and you can talk about what happened with, you know, your neighbors across the street, around the corner. You could do all of that. You could talk about, you know, what happened with Sister Betty at church and stuff. You can do all of that. So let's shift these conversations. Let's get on the phone and let's talk about what you need to be healing from, you know, because deep down, I feel like everybody, like to a certain extent, what's wrong with you, like your traumas and what you need to heal from, because you have what you call intuition, your gut. Like what it is that you're running from. Okay, you know what it is that you're running from. It's just as simple as that. So it's just time to definitely we gotta turn the things around, shift things around. And like I was saying earlier, the recipe is where there is a will, there's a way. Period.
Weird.
Even for that young, it don't matter, that young person who can't go home and find that inspiration and find that healing. Where there's a will, there's a way. Definitely. And nowadays, like I said, we have social media. You have so many, motivational speakers for one, and you have those little meditation type sessions where it's like clear negative thoughts, clear my aura and things like that. Everything is on the internet nowadays.
Life
even
coaches, spiritual coach,
all of that, spiritual advisors. Even if where there's a will, there's a way. So if you are depressed, just going on the internet and typing in something as simple as, how can I get over depression? That's what I mean by there's a will, there's a way, and not just sitting with it and, I'm depressed, so I'm just gonna have sex and drink and smoke and, like I said, binge watch, eat all I can eat,
Stay in other folk business, celebrity gossip.
Yeah, that's you can't
vicariously living through their pocket. You know what I mean? When you can think and grow rich for yourself.
You definitely can.
You ain't gotta vicariously live through them.
You definitely can.
Do you? I keep hearing you use this word will. It's important, family, for us to know that that's simply one of the 12 powers of man. You're born again with certain abilities.
You are OG if you know the press box. They went through the 12 powers of man. So
all 12.
Go ahead, scroll down, find the videos. So, because that will.
It's what's gonna get you through.
It's what's gonna get you through.
Mm-hmm. And we all have it. We all have a will. Because you're born with it. You're born with 12 powers. You see, will again is one. And the baby keep using that word, so we gotta highlight that. Now you go do your own due diligence on the other 11, and because again, imagination is a power. That's one of the 12 powers of man. And when we say imagination, that means the Wright brothers, they use their imagination to come up with that airplane, so you can go. You see what I'm saying? A round trip ticket to whoop de woo yada yada. It was the Wright brothers. You see, they had to use those brain faculties, you see, to produce something tangible that humanity could use.
Y'all, people tend to use, and this is something like you have to think like this. Imagination can be used in a productive way or a destructive way.
Absolutely.
A lot of y'all use y'all imagination to create these poverty lifestyles that you are currently living. I ain't got it. Our skin folk, I ain't know who got that. No,
ain't got enough for that.
Can't do that. Gonna have to wait till my taxes come. Like we're gods, and we're queens and kings, baby. We should not be waiting for no tax. No, we shouldn't be waiting for tax season. If that's the case, let's make tax season year round. Let's bring them thousands in weekly, monthly. Like.
And those that admit and receive the king and queen energy. Let us insert that there, because we do have that peasant energy that doesn't mind being a peasant.
That's
and
true.
That's okay. You see, because like the good brother told me before, he say, look, I said to son, somebody got to be the peasants. You see, everybody can't be kings and queens. And I am in total agreement of that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But when my baby's saying we kings and queens, we talking about the ones that resonate with that energy. So if you don't resonate with that energy, then that's fine. But I'm sure if you watching this session, you probably not one of the ones that's not, okay with receiving that king and queen energy and using it for the best of your ability. So yeah, we have to insert that right there. You know what I mean? And as we wind down, we want to highlight the fact that depression is real. You see? And again, we had the baby come in and let us know, because y'all heard her, as it relates to public school. She was ready to, she was upset because she was thinking she was missing out on a social experience. That's key, you see? Because that social experience that those of us like her father did go to public school and finished through public school, etc. A lot of us, if we be honest, we can look back and say, yeah, that's really all it was a social experience with these different cliques. You see, the jocks, the poor guy, the fat girl, the ugly girl, the pretty girl, the handsome fella, the the cat with the bread, with the, all of these different cliques. Yeah, when we admit it, started there. So why are we bringing that up? Because that's when depression sets in, family. Depression sets in that early. And I have the experience in church. Because the church was, let me say this, was no different for me in my generation. Because the same cliques that you got in the school is the same, similar cliques in the church. The pastor wives, you know what I mean? The pastor's children. They in a different category over here, you see, and etc. The popular, all the popularity stuff go on within the church as well, you see. And again, is God really involved in anything where depression is the result of the goings on over there? See, that's what we constantly producing out of there. Because when we're talking about public school, we can also talk about the from school to prison pipeline. You see, that's definitely a real concept. You know what I mean? We can go on and talk about that and dismantle that thing too. And again, what we saying here is let's be real enough, family. That's all, to deal with this concept of depression and combat that thing. You see? Because again, that baby said, oh man, I thought I was going to miss out on a certain thing. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody, let's be honest, who's really, you know what I mean, geeked about going to school so I can stay on the honor roll? And let's be honest about the next step when we're talking about college. Who has the bread? Honestly. You see? Who has the bread to send the baby? Or you one of them ones that done told your baby, hey, you better run, nigga, run. That's the only way you gonna be. That's the only way we gonna be able to. Yep. You see, and that's child abuse, whether you know it or not. You done already put pressure on that baby. Yep. You know what I mean? Let them know, hey, college is important, but I don't have no money for the decision to you. But you can run, jump,
And then when they don't make it, that's more. It adds to it. Like, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but it's another meme that be going around. And it says something like, basically like these are not thugs for real. These are just athletes who didn't make it and they got mad. Like, that is really real, because I know some people in that category as well. Like, okay, so because you didn't make it, like, okay, now all of a sudden, like, oh, you thugging, like, okay, you thug life now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's really sad though, because it's like, that's emotions, that's emotions that are being suppressed, and now you're acting out those emotions in a very unhealthy, non-productive way. So yeah, that's not good at all. But regardless, I gotta keep saying it, because where there's a will, there's a way. The information is out there, especially nowadays. Let's be real, I know people don't like to read books, but it would be very much beneficial for you to read a book. But we do have, if it's more comfortable for you to go on the internet and do it that way, you just need to educate yourself on whatever it is, like I said, just simply going to the internet, and if you feel like that you're dealing with depression, typing in, what are some ways that I can deal with depression, or typing in what are some good books that I can read to, work with this, heal from, cure this depression, and that's what I mean by, like, it's just simple as that. Where there's a will, there's a way. So that's my message. Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. And I've been there, like, I was depressed, for real. Like, my daddy, my sister, my oldest, Yana, she's so funny. Shout out to my sis. I love my sis. I was so down bad. I had my sister stressed out, and she had to go to my daddy and, like, talk to him, like, do you see how Ariel is acting? Like, are you gonna talk to her, or like when like, what's up? So, and that's, I give thanks. I love my family. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to pull out of that depression, to leave that toxic relationship, and to separate myself from people who really just loved what I can do for them, and people who just love to be around me. I pretty much been surrounded by those type of people my whole life. And I'm healing and growing, and I'm definitely, I'm happy. I'm getting back to myself, and like my daddy said, I'm just making room. Like, my lessons have definitely been learned. But
I was gonna ask you to shout out to who?
Shout out to my sis. That's all I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Cause you was about to ask me what?
I was gonna ask you what would be your message to your peers. I was just gonna ask you, what would be a message to your peers right now that you would give them as it relates to, the depression and how to deal with it. But
live for yourself, please.
Mm-hmm.
Please live your life for yourself.
What does that mean?
And that's what I'm about to say. I know, i.e., post a picture because you look good, not because you want to get 500 likes and 30 comments. And if you don't get 500 likes and 30 comments, now you feeling sad and depressed because you did not get 500 likes and 30 comments. That's what I mean by live for you. Post a picture because you feeling yourself. You look good and you just want to post a picture. Think for yourself as well. If you don't want to go, don't go. Okay. If you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. If you don't want to drink it, don't drink it. It's just that simple. My message is to live for yourself. Because see, that's the thing. I have been living for other people because I call myself, like, feeling bad for people. I knew what they have been going through and things like that. And that's what I mean by, like, you got to live for you. Okay, like, just because you are connected to somebody who may have not had it as good as you, that don't mean that you gotta like turn your world around for them. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, do things on your own time. Don't feel forced and obligated to do things, or I just live for you. That's my message, because it's you get a peace of mind, okay, when you stop worrying about what people gonna say, and let people talk too, because I know I could only imagine. Just let people talk, because I heard, what it was from young Ma, whatever, she said, like, like, when the hate don't work, they start telling lies, so it's like people probably gonna speak on your name, but you just gotta live your life. You can't be worried about what other people think. And like my daddy said, stand on your square. Like, you have to stand on your square when you get to thinking like that and moving like that. Like, what Nip say, bump what they saying, I'm saying this. Like, that's my message. You just gotta live for you. Cause man, living for social media, living for other people, man, you gonna forever be depressed. And stop trying to cover up stop trying to cover up what people did that hurt you. You know, like start communicating. Speak what hurt you. Like, it's okay. And if you don't get the response you want, that's fine. Now you know to move accordingly with that person or whoever, that situation, that job, that marriage, whatever. You know? So, yeah, that was a lot. But that's like, communicate, express how you feel, and live for yourself. Think for yourself. That's my message.
Where can they find you? If they don't,
You can find me on Instagram, which is Nubian A. Okay, that's Nubian, NUBIANN.A. I'm on Instagram. Facebook is the same. And that's it for right now. You know, your girl is still in the works of balancing out my personal life and my passion. So for right now, yes, you can find me on Instagram and you can find me on Facebook. All the other socials are coming soon. So
your passion for what? What you doing?
I am a wealth astronumerologist, meaning that I am wealthy, number one, and I study astrology and numerology, and I am a tarot reader. Okay, so and earlier I said spiritual advisor. And that is what I consider myself. You know, those people in that lane, those are spiritual advisors. So definitely, I know it's different, and you know, but astrology and numerology, like today, like I said, those tools, that's a very big, you know, it's a day of, it's time to manifest, you know. So I do things like that. I let you know about the day you were born. Those numbers, they mean, you know, the month, the day, the year, they all mean something to your character, you know, your personality, your character, events in your life, you know, all of that, and astrology as well, because if you're watching this and you're a Cancer right now, you're not just a Cancer. You have a moon sign, you have a rising sign, a Venus sign, a Mars, Jupiter, and I've explained all of that on my Instagram and my Facebook thus far. So you can go watch all of those videos, and I am explaining all of that, what they mean, the effect they have on you. And yes, I actually have a few tarot readings on my Instagram as well. So yes, go check me out and
what?
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Put yourself first, okay? Let's break these generational curses. Let's think and grow rich. It's time to think and grow rich and cut out with the post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Welcome back there.
Yes.
It's your good brother, Second Son. And you can find me on Instagram.
Everything.
Second Son, S-E-K. That's second with a K. SEKOND, the number 9. That's on the ground. TikTok is second. SEKOND_SUN. Kaleem Bay, my free national name on Facebook. Kaleem, Kaleem, Bay, B-E-Y. You understand? And this has been a Walk With Me podcast, father-daughter edition. We want to shout out again our sponsorship, Legends Den, right in the Baby H. This has been me and my baby girl again. This episode has been dedicated to her paternal and maternal grandmothers. Peace be upon them.
Yes.
Margaret Ann and Carolyn Louise.
You gotta live it out for them.
Absolutely. And that's what I was about to say. Let's see if we can get this conversation, family, rolling, because it's very important to us as a family to be a part of healing.
Right. My grandmother, yes, she passed away from stage 4 lung cancer in 2018, and my other grandmother, she passed away from breast cancer in 2004 or 3?
5.
Oh Lord, 5. So
She was a baby. She was a little girl.
yes, I vaguely remember that. But my granny, who recently passed in 2018, she literally told me and my sister that the people needed to hear the knowledge that we have, and that we needed to help assist in healing the people. So definitely got to do that for both of my grandmothers. Yeah, that the whole the cancer, all of that stopped with them. Very much so. Health is wealth. Okay, I am not one of them and never will be. So yes, that is that, and we're out.
Walk with me. Give me that. We did that. Yeah.